In this video, 9 reasons you need a personal brand. 1. Set yourself apart from others. 2. Attain loyal followers. 3. Establish yourself as an expert. 4. Sell services and products. 5. Have a North Star to guide you through business and life. 6. Increase your influence, reach more people. 7. Achieve personal goals, live a more fulfilled life. 8. Get to know yourself better. 9. Remove the hazard of not controlling your brand. And lo and behold, I'm actually throwing in not 1 but 2 bonus reasons why I think you should have a personal brand. Whether you're a content creator, an artist, a business owner, a corporate leader, or even a freelancer, I believe you should have a personal brand. 1. Set yourself apart from others. Now, personal branding is at its very core the process of controlling the aspects of your public image that sets you apart from your competitors. If you're like everyone else in your field, people will have no reason to choose you or your services or products over those of your competitors. In fact, setting yourself apart is the unique competitive advantage you have in the marketplace. So if you don't take control over that, you're essentially leaving something to coincidence that is within your control. Add to that the fact that you already have a personal brand. The only question is really whether you want to control it or not. Okay, number 2, attain loyal followers. Now, once you're consistent and consistently keep talking about the same topic in the same niche, you will automatically attract people who are like-minded in some sense. But a strong personal brand also makes you unique and authentic. And that means you attract people who either share those traits, those personality traits that you have, or are just attracted by them. So this is the perfect foundation to attract people who are not just tagging along casually because of the topic you're talking about, but who stick around, not in spite of you, but because of you. Number 3, you can establish yourself as an expert. Now, this may sound a little odd if you're a content creator, if you do vlogging about dog walking or some other very casual hobby or topic. Just think about it. If you're always talking about the same topic, constantly attacking it from different angles, exploring all aspects of it, well, if you're not an expert, you are at the very least known as a person who is all about this topic. The real challenge here is actually to stay curious and humble even after people have started regarding you as an expert. And I'm telling you from personal experience, that is hard. 4. Sell products and services. Now, because you have a strong personal brand, that also means you've dedicated yourself to something, to a certain niche. Now, people who follow you will come to know, like, and trust you. And that dramatically increases the odds that they will buy something from you. Having a strong personal brand, among other things, means that you are consistent, focused, and authentic. What does that actually mean? Well, it actually probably means that you're more honest, you're more real in some sense. People will get to know you and therefore also trust you over time. And this can actually make it much easier for you to sell products to your followers, whether we're talking courses, ebooks, other digital products, or services perhaps. This is something I describe in great detail in my course. Yes, my course. I am promoting my course here, and I'm actually using the very technique I'm alluding to in this video. So if you want to learn how to build a business as a content creator and including in that building a strong personal brand, go check out my course, link in the description below. Number 5, having a North Star that can guide you through your business decisions. You will be facing many difficult decisions, and it's actually really good to have a strong personal brand to fall back on, because it is in some sense a set of guiding principles that can make it much easier to make otherwise very hard decisions. This could be something like a company reaching out to you with an offer and you're a little bit on the fence, or it could be you considering going into a new direction, or all sorts of other things. A good personal brand actually contains a kind of philosophy, and that philosophy can easily, in many cases, help you answer these questions. Should you take the brand deal? Should you branch out? Should you do this and that? Anyways, without a personal brand, you will essentially be wandering in the dark, and that is very rarely a good thing. Number 6, increase your influence, reach more people. Now, this may seem counterintuitive because in some sense, the stronger and more defined of a personal brand you have, the more people you will also, in some sense, cut off. And here's the shocking thing about that. You'll never reach everyone, and that is actually a good thing. The fact that you're not for everyone will essentially give you more influence in the niche that you do occupy. And that can spread. You may become a top 10 figure in your tiny little niche or sub-niche. And then some people who are interested in adjacent fields may eventually stumble on you because you're one of the top 10 figures in that field, right? So that's essentially how your influence can spread. Number 7, achieve personal goals and essentially live a more fulfilled and satisfying life. Again, this may sound weird, but if you've crafted your personal brand in the right manner, it will, per definition, be aligned with your values and goals. That also means that every time you interact with the world, for instance, by putting out a piece of content, you are in some sense taking one step in the direction of the fulfillment of your goals. And that may, all else equal, give you this sense of being on the right path or leading a more fulfilled life. Number 8, get to know yourself better. The first step of building a personal brand is to figure out who you actually are. Not just in your mind, but in reality. In some sense, to go from word to deed. This also means you have to take a good, long, hard look at yourself, not just your own self-perception. Here's an example I like to use. Let's say you see yourself as a very generous person, but what if we asked every person you ever knew and none of them reported back that they saw you as generous? What if, in fact, objectively, you weren't generous? Are you then, in fact, generous? Should it then be part of your personal brand? I'm not saying you need to be generous to be a good person. I'm just saying it's important we don't delude ourselves, especially when crafting our personal brand. The point being, when you build your personal brand, it will force you to take a look at yourself, who you are, what you actually do in the world. You will get to know yourself better, and all else equal, that's a win. Reason number 9, you will remove the hazard of not controlling your personal brand. Now, first of all, this has to do with the fact that obviously you already have a personal brand. The question is only, do you wish to play some role in controlling it? First of all, there's the aspect we could call the algorithmic aspect. That really just has to do with the fact that if you're sending out signals, specific signals one day, and another day you're sending out completely different signals that point in a different direction. It doesn't have to be topical. It could also just be like ideological, right? This is what you stand for. No, this is what I stand for, right? That's going to confuse people, and people who followed you because of the first signals you send out in the world will now see, oh, now he's sending out other signals. I have no interest in that. So they're not going to click on your video or whatever it may be, and that's going to tell the algorithm, don't show this to any more people, and that's not a good thing. Secondly, there's the phenomenon called audience capture. I've actually written a little tiny article about that on my website. I'm linking to that below. This essentially just means that once you've attained a certain amount of influence, you've probably quit your job a long time ago, you're dependent on your followers online. And if you start sending another message, they're not going to be interested in what, quote unquote, you're selling, right? So your whole livelihood depends on you telling your audience what you know they want to hear. And that's why we call it audience capture, because you're essentially being held captive by your audience. Number 10, attract unforeseen opportunities. Now, this can also be described as a known unknown, to quote Donald Rumsfeld here. That is, we know that it'll probably happen, but we don't know what they'll be, when they'll happen, or any other details about them. But because your personal brand, per definition, sets you apart from others, certain people will stumble on you and think that you are the best person to present with this or that offer, whatever it may be. And that wouldn't have happened without your personal brand. Number 11, running out of fingers here. You have a chance of becoming an actual influencer. Now, again, people that don't have values, goals, and ideals, that don't stand for anything, never actually become true influencer, or at least so I believe. But because part of having a strong personal brand entails having values and guiding principles, you will essentially, on some level, become an influencer. Some people will hate you. That just is what it is. That's part of the rules of engagement here. You can take two different people who both talk about the same topic, right? But one guy is a slick guy in a suit employed by some major corporation. The other guy is just himself, right? And he may be a little bit of a weirdo, but he wrote a book on this very topic, and he has strong ideals and strong opinions. Now, which of the two do you suppose have the best odds of becoming a successful influencer? Did I manage to convince you that you need a personal brand? And or did I leave anything important out? Anyways, if you want more information on how to build a business in the digital economy, please subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, have a great life.